flying to Seattle next spring and want to try the make friends at bars tactic, but no way I'd feel confident to do so without feeling like a creep or intrusive. I think it can help if you go with a friend, but if you're flying on your own, what I would recommend probably is go to queer bars. People are just friendlier there. They just are. Go to one of the many bars on Capitol Hill. You know, the Unicorn is my favorite in the area, but there are many. You can bounce around between them if you prefer, and stay at the bar and just have some light conversation with the bartender. Go when it's quieter there. You know, if you go when it's 10 p.m., it's going to be, especially the Unicorn. Well, actually, right now the Unicorn's closed, but you said you're going next spring, so okay, it'll be open by then, hopefully. Don't go at 10 p.m. Go to go at 5, 6 p.m. or whatever. Talk with some people, you know, take it easy, walk around a little bit. Have convos, see people standing out in the street, compliment people on their attire. People love that. I've complimented people on their outfits so many times, I have never gotten a negative response. Not once. Not even like a tentative response. If you say a person who's wearing a nice coat's wearing a nice coat, for the most part, they're just going to be like, hell yeah, you know? People love being told they got their shit on, you know? Yeah, I mean, you don't want to you don't want to oversell it or be, you know, intrusive. You don't want to say, hey, I love how the lace in your lacy bra is peeking out from your shirt. That's hot. You know, I mean, obviously you need to be selective with your compliments, even if you do in fact like the lacy bra peek out. You know, you have to compliment the drip broadly. Yeah, don't be a fucking idiot, basically. If you're ugly, people will be creeped out. Listen, I'm not going to deny there's a double standard, okay? If you're a big, kind of conventionally unattractive fat guy and you're like, yeah, I like your outfit, huh? And you know, whatever. I understand it's not fair, the world's not fair, so on and so forth. But I do think you're more likely to get good responses if you're you're bubbly, you're friendly, you smile, and you're in the gay neighborhood. There are people who have a scaring aura. That is true. But yeah, no, I think it's very doable. Just don't be scared. Even when I had busted levels of acne and social incompetence, I never got a bad response from complimenting someone's outfit. I guess being fat makes it worse. Well, maybe. Look, as a general rule, the thing that makes those conversations go poorly is if you are giving the other person implications they're not comfortable with, or if they feel like you're not giving them an out. So people, for the most part, don't like negative altercations or interactions with strangers on the street and don't want to risk anything bad happening to them, like an argument or like a person turns out to be crazy. So if you give a person a compliment, you want it to not carry with it unsavory implications. Complimenting a fit is pretty unambiguous. If you compliment a person's appearance broadly, like telling a woman she's beautiful, that might be true, and she might appreciate that. But usually you say that when you're like hitting on a woman. Whereas complimenting a person's outfit is more of a like, I see what you got on there. I respect that. That looks good. It's more, you're complimenting work they put into their appearance more so than you're like, you know, flirting with them, you know? And it comes across differently. And you don't want to say it in a way that makes it feel like they have no out. So say it like a passing compliment, you know? Don't be like, hey, I really like your outfit, and then stand there looking at them, waiting for a response. I know what I just described sounds like weird, but a lot of people make that mistake. They'll give a good, earnest compliment that's well-intended. There's nothing wrong with it. But then after giving it, they'll kind of hover a little bit, which puts pressure on the person that you're complimenting to give you a response. And if they feel pressured, they're more likely to assume that this is part of some pickup effort, which you want to avoid if you're just giving a compliment, you know? So when I compliment a person's outfit, I usually just say, oh, hey, I love your jacket, while I'm like walking by, the hand gesture, you know, I'm already moving on. Like to a guy like me, a compliment like that, I'm just you know, I'm just moving on with my day. There's no room for misinterpretation, and there's not really much potential for like them to feel like they're kind of trapped in the interaction. Yeah, a verbal underhanded toss. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's you get what I'm saying, right? Like this is good advice. You should be writing this down. Yeah, you can give me River. Yay. Hello, Sleepy. Little roly-poly. You see the article on how ChatGPT is causing more psychosis and suicide? There have been so many such articles. How the fuck am I supposed to follow every one of them? Speaking of ChatGPT, have you seen this chart? How the fuck did you have a link ready? Already. OpenAI has released new estimates of the number of ChatGPT users who exhibit possible signs of mental health emergencies, including mania, psychosis, or suicidal thoughts. The company said that around 0.07% of ChatGPT users active in a given week exhibited such signs. Oh, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Only 0.07? And I don't believe those numbers either. Even though 0.07% sounds like a small percentage, at a population level with hundreds of millions of users, that can be quite a few people. Yes, thank you for the numbers. Roundup. Also, I just don't believe those numbers. What the hell? Dude, my keyboard has been on the fritz lately. What the hell? It's a wireless keyboard, but it's just not sending the keystrokes. I need to get a wired keyboard. I don't like changing keyboards. I get so used to the way one works and functions, and it just feels weird. On the fritz? Well, okay, hold on. What's wrong with saying on the fritz? Is that like a boomer phrase? Yeah? It's a white boy phrase. Oh, okay. Like when I say, as I often do, by the way, skedaddle. Hey, Bottling Sunshine. Fritz is a slur? Oh, nobody. Can I tell you something that made me sad the other day? It is actually sad how many, like, charming local dialects are being annihilated because of the monoculture that is national news and the internet, you know? Believe it or not, like as recently as 50 years ago, if you did a driving tour around America, you would find so many groups of people with so many different ways of speaking. All of them like English speakers, families have been here for generations, you know? But you know, back when things were more local, so much neat slang. Oh yeah, oh 100%. Even the Southern accent isn't as commonplace like it used to be. Yeah, no. Yeah, like even like big regional accents, like New York's, like New York. Okay, seriously, go and watch. What was the example used on Twitter? Sesame Street, from New York in like the 1980s or something. Like one of the ones where they're talking to the kids or whatever. Anything from like where you get to listen to like average New Yorkers back in the 1980s, 1970s. They did a Boston accent. Yeah. They talked like that. I went to New York recently. Nobody talked like that. Maybe a few guys. For the most part, everyone just talked the way I do. This unemphasized. Well, maybe not how I do, because I do have a little bit of an affected twang to my speak, which is not, by the way, because of where I grew up, and almost entirely because I don't know, I've always like Westerns. I don't know. There are a couple of ways I pronounce things that I think it's because I read the Preacher books when I was young. You're just autistic? I'll take it. I need to do some like actual segments, man. It's been a sleepy day for me. I really think it's the weather. I went out early. I had to do some errands that I had to get done early, because once once stream ends, 3 p.m. hits, you can't do shit if you've got to go up and down the 5 here in Seattle. It's not quite as bad as LA traffic, at least not everywhere. But, I didn't want to have to run about doing all that. And I was out, and it was rainy and sleepy. Hardest job. No. I'm not saying that. Why is my keyboard... I need to buy a new keyboard. God damn it. I have to, like, move it closer to the PC to get it to register. Cat pissed in it and short-circuited the keys. That's the second time you've said that, Masaigu. Well, you into that? You like that idea? No. This thing's been a piece of shit since I got it. It's a $50 keyboard. And I've had it for years now. I mean, I've been using it for years. Is it a Logitech? Yes. It's just a shitty... It's just a... Look, it's just this. See, I don't actually know how to type. Proper typing, I mean. With, your fingers on the right keys. I never learned how to do it. I tried back in class. Never learned how to do it. So I've always typed like bip, 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 bip. But, my word count's pretty good with it. You get good at whatever you get used to, It's just a matter of practice. I just wanted a low-profile keyboard so I don't have to listen to that obnoxious click-clack. I hate the I'm sure the mechanical keyboard click-clack, ooh, look at my red switches, my brown switches, whatever. I'm sure that's great if you're into, like, typing properly, so you get this nice, like, kinesthetic feedback. In my case, I'm going pep, 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 pep. So I don't really need that feedback. It's just not a part of my life, you know? No hate. I think mechanical keyboards look and sound great when I'm not using them. You know? As long as I'm not around it. Vaush, the implementation of the ACA created 15 million jobs for Americans. 15 million? I don't think that's true. That's what, like all healthcare jobs? That can't be right. Also, like, that's bad. The bloat in our healthcare industry is part of the reason why everything costs so much. You know, are they 15 million doctors? I doubt it. Listen, never, ever, ever ask, what will we do with the jobs? The money is always out there. Humans have been finding things for other humans to do for as long as we've existed as a species. There are bridges to be repaired, roads to be repaired, maintained, built. There are buildings to zone. There are dilapidated old structures to repair. There are always, always, always jobs. The only question is, are there people willing to pay for them? And this is the problem we're running up against right now, is that as the financial sector grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, to be a larger part of the economy, nobody's offering jobs for anything, you know? I'm speaking generally. There are still plenty of jobs out there, but it is coming to be more of a problem, you know? But that's not a problem that can be solved with, you know, forcing more bloat into the healthcare administration. You have a speck of cotton or something in your beard? Do I? It's a very serious accusation to level at a person with a beard, because it's been known to happen. Did that you do? It's dangling. Oh my god, it's dangling. Bottom left? Oh yeah, I see you got it. I have no idea. I'm just no, I don't need help. I'm a ant on a log drifting down a river. It fell, you got okay, what yeah, okay, sure. I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna review the tapes or anything. Okay, no, group effort. I appreciate the help. It's a real thing you gotta be concerned about, you know? Okay. I have to ask this again. And I apologize for sounding cranky. Can you please stop asking me if I've seen stuff? For a bit. I get a lot of it. I've been out for a week. Okay, you know what? Have you seen my fucking in-person interview with Katie Wilson? How about that? Okay, well, some of you have. That went pretty good, didn't it? I had a really good time. I feel like I did a good job facilitating. I didn't really know going into it that I'd be like hosting, you know what I mean? Like doing the transitions and everything, but I think it did a pretty good job. Did you watch your interview with Katie Wilson? Fuck no. River! Are you enjoying the heat from my PC? Are you enjoying toasting your buns? Are your buns toasted? She's fucking annoyed. She thinks that her buns aren't toasted enough. They're gonna get burnt. They're gonna get burnt. Bit weird seeing Vaush in the wild. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, what are we doing? Hello. Don't take this as a criticism, but it's odd to see an interviewer ask such a detailed question like you did. Yeah, that's because I'm not an interviewer, I'm a live streamer. They're two totally different skills, by the way. Answering questions, or just rambling, and asking questions, super, super, super different, like, skill sets, you know? So I don't have much experience in that vein, but I think I did all right, you know? Yeah, I could tell. Oh, now all you could tell. Everyone a second ago was like, oh, I really liked it. But now that I've acknowledged that fact about myself, people are going to be like, yeah, I did kind of feel like you were on shaky legs there. Yeah. Now that we're being honest. Was it nice seeing the younger gen you inspired get active in canvassing? Yeah, that girl who came down, like her grandparents drove her down to canvass. That was so cool. That was so nice, you know? You were no, hey, it's not a nervousness thing. It's just I'm used to rambling. I don't have people on this stream, you know? Normally it's a back and forth between you guys, but I get to be mean to you. I can't be mean to Katie Wilson. She's so nice. Just like the sound of my own voice.